No position can make or break an NFL team quite like the quarterback. Get yourself a good one, and you almost guarantee yourself a decade of competitiveness. Get yourself a great one, and you probably will end up with a Super Bowl ring. This year's NFL draft class of quarterbacks is loaded with talented prospects. Quarterback-hungry teams are salivating over their chance to land one of them. The question is, which ones from the group are the best? Here's our rankings for the top 10 quarterbacks in the 2018 NFL draft class. Keep in mind, it will take several years to determine how this shakes out. 10. Kurt Benkert, Virginia. Originally a quarterback at East Carolina, Benkert transferred to Virginia after tearing his ACL and enjoyed twos leading the Cavs. His completion percentage either year wasn't strong, 56.2% as a junior and 58.5% as a senior. He opened eyes with his strong play early in and a massive 384-yard, 4-2 count game against Miami. To know what he can do, put on the tape from that game and watch him complete nearly all of his passes and make every throw. Overall, he has a pretty strong arm but lacks the accuracy and athleticism to have a big impact in the NFL. 9. Luke Falk, Washington State. A former walk-on at Washington State, Falk developed into one of the better quarterbacks the program has seen in the past 15 years. He leaves as the Cougars' all-time passing yardage 14,481 and 2 counts leader 119, as he thrived in Mike Leach's offense. Falk was only tested in the vertical jump and broad jump at the combine and did not excel at either. He did not participate in the Senior Bowl. Falk completed 68.3% of his passes during his career and has shown excellent accuracy. He took advantage of a lot of spacing in his offense thanks to the scheme his team ran. 8. Logan Woodside, Toledo. Woodside spent 5 years at Toledo, redshirting in the middle of his career and then going on to throw 45 2 counts as a redshirt junior. He's a good athlete who tested well in many of the running categories at the combine despite not putting up big rushing numbers in college. He often used his mobility to escape pressure and buy himself more time to make plays. He throws with good accuracy on short and intermediate routes, but he probably lacks the arm strength to really spread the ball around against NFL-quality secondaries who can close on the ball much quicker than college ones. His ball just doesn't have enough zip on it, but put him in a West Coast offense and that would suit him. 7. Kyle Lauletta, Richmond. Lauletta put up nice numbers at FCS Richmond, throwing for over 10,000 career yards and 73 2 counts. He turned a lot of heads with a very strong performance at the Senior Bowl in which he passed for 198 yards and 3 2 counts to take home game MVP honors. Lauletta tore his ACL in 2016 but bounced back to play well but the long-term status of his knee is still a concern. He tested well at the combine and showed some good athleticism in all the running and jumping events. He can put some zip on the ball for intermediate throws, but he has a high arcing deep ball that might not work at the next level. 6. Josh Allen, Wyoming. The physical skills for Allen jump off the page. He led all quarterbacks at the combine in broad and vertical jumps. He tested towards the top of his class in the 40-yard dash and 3-cone drill. He is a strapping 6'5" and 233 pounds and has the look that many teams want from their quarterback. His arm strength is also off the charts, as some say he can throw it nearly the length of a football field. He impressed some by hitting the crossbar from his knees from 50 yards away. But here's the thing, being a quarterback is not about how well you test, how high you jump, or how far you throw it. So much more goes into being a good quarterback. You have to be accurate as a passer, and Allen was anything but that, completing just 56.2% of his passes in college. He also completely stunk up the joint in games against Power 5 opponents like Nebraska, Oregon and Iowa. Inaccuracy is not a problem players overcome in the NFL, the weakness is only magnified. I see more Kyle Boller or Jake Locker from Allen than anything else. He's a player I would never spend a first-round pick on with the belief that he will become a franchise quarterback. 5. Mason Rudolph, Oklahoma State. A 3-year starter at Oklahoma State, Rudolph gained tremendous experience during his time in college. He is somewhat of a Baker Mayfield light in that he played in a passing system in the Big 12 and took advantage of mismatches and Mike Gundy's coaching. But plenty of other QBs have played for Gundy, and he's better than all of them. Rudolph passed for nearly 5,000 yards as a senior and completed a career-best 65% of his passes. He improved in each, which is another sign that he can get better in the pros. He throws a good deep ball and shows good pocket awareness, with an ability to throw on the run and make things happen. After operating so frequently out of the shotgun, seeing how he adapts in the NFL will be interesting. For Lamar Jackson, Louisville. Some teams wanted to see what Lamar Jackson could do as a receiver, but he's not bothering with that. Jackson views his future as a quarterback and knows there will be teams who see that as well. Though he did not run the 40 at the combine, Jackson has elite speed and has drawn comparisons to Michael Vick, who even says Jackson is better than he was. Jackson put up excellent two-way numbers at Louisville, which helped him win the Heisman Trophy as a sophomore. He also had a few stinkers against the better defenses he faced. See his losses to Houston and LSU in 2016 and his 4-interception game against Mississippi State in 2017. Get him with a coach who takes advantage of his rushing ability, and he will add excitement and scoring to an offense. 3. Josh Rosen, UCLA. As far as being a pure passer, Rosen is at the top of his class. He can make some truly beautiful throws, displaying good touch and arm strength, especially on short and intermediate routes. If you need someone to run an offense and move the ball, he's your man. He reminds me a lot of Andrew Luck in terms of passing ability and style. His stats at UCLA, he never completed more than 62.6% of his passes in are somewhat deceiving. His receivers had numerous drops throughout his career, especially in his first 2 years, which kept him from putting up truly eye-popping numbers. Rosen needs to eliminate some of the back-breaking, bonehead interceptions he was prone to throwing during his time with the Bruins. The only thing preventing him from being number one on this list is his health. Rosen had a shoulder surgery that ended his sophomore early. He also suffered 2 concussions as a junior. I have no doubt about his ability to perform at the next level. 1. Have concerns about how often and long he will be able to play. 2. Sam Darnold, USC. Darnold broke out with a huge redshirt freshman and struggled to repeat the same level of success as a sophomore, but he nonetheless fared well, throwing for 26 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. As a redshirt freshman, the numbers were much more impressive with 31 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. A 6'4", 220-pounder, Darnold is big bow and difficult to bring down. He is slippery in the pocket, which some believe is a bad habit because he will leave as soon as there is pressure. Contrarily, I believe he is just a good playmaker who makes things happen. The guy always seems to make a play on 3rd and shorts, just finding a way to get things done. He reminds me of Ben Roethlisberger in terms of size and style. If he went to a team like the Browns, he'd help them rebuild quickly. 1. Baker Mayfield, Oklahoma. Some players just have an it factor, and Mayfield certainly seems to be one of them. The former Texas Tech walk-on put up extremely impressive numbers at Oklahoma, completing over 68% of his passes in all 3 of his with the Sooners. He improved his stats each with the program, which is a good sign about his progress and development. He has a drive to compete, and he has mobility despite being described as not too athletic. His 70% completion percentage and 83 touchdowns, 14 interceptions over his final 2s indicate the type of accuracy needed to succeed at the next level. His size may not be ideal, but his ability to deliver the football where it needs to go makes up for that.